We'll be doing some MCQs on this chapter called as control and coordination. And here's the first question. So, which hormone promotes dormancy in seeds and bud? The word dormancy means that it's temporarily inactive because of some condition, it's inactive. So here we have auxin. Auxin is basically responsible for stem and root elongation. So it's definitely not auxin. Then you have gibberellins. Gibberellins are responsible for the growth of the plant to make the plant taller. So gibberellin is also not the answer for this. Cytokinin is responsible for cell division. So this is also not responsible for dormancy of the cell of the seed. The last one, abscisic acid, it's a stress hormone. That means only when there is a favorable condition, it's going to help the seed and the bud to grow. So D, abscisic acid, is the right answer here. The next question we have here is, movement of sunflower in accordance with the path of sun is due to. So plants show movement because of various external stimuli, and that's called as tropism. So chemotropism is the movement of plant because of chemical, under the pressure of chemical. Geotropism is because it's a response because of force of gravity, which the roots do. Phototropism is because of sun. Hydrotropism is because of water, movement towards water. So the answer here is C, phototropism. The next question here, the microscopic gap between a pair of adjacent neuron over which nerve impulse pass is called as. So the neuron, these are the dendrites, correct? So then you have the axon, then you have the axon terminal. There's a little gap here, and then again you have another neuron, again you have the axon, and again you have the axon terminal. So the impulse passes from one neuron to another like this. So let's see what are not the answers. So first one, neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter is basically a chemical substance which is released at the end of the nerves as soon as it gets an impulse. So that's not our answer here. Dendrites, these are the dendrites. Okay, they collect the nerve impulses. So that's not the space, so that's also not the answer. Axon, this is the axon. That's also not the answer. And finally, synapse. This gap here is the synapse. That's what they're asking, the microscopic gap. Synapse. So D, synapse, is the answer. The next question, breathing is controlled by which part of the brain? So breathing is an involuntary activity. Our cerebrum is basically responsible for everything related to the sensory organ. Keeping the memory, emotions, learning, your decision making, all that is a function which is carried out because of the cerebrum. Cerebellum does most of our voluntary activities like balancing, movement, coordination. Hypothalamus, it's responsible for secretion of hormones. It activates pituitary gland and the other parts, which in the end is responsible for secretion of hormones. So your answer is D, medulla oblongata, which is responsible for all the involuntary activity. It controls the involuntary activity, respiration, circulation, and even breathing. So D, medulla oblongata, is the correct answer. The next one, part of the body which is responsible, a part of body which responds to the instructions sent from the nervous system is called as. So our nervous system gets the information from the sensory neuron, depending upon what's seen, felt, heard, the sensory neuron picks up the external stimuli and passes it to our spinal cord or brain. From there, the required instruction is given back with the help of the effector neuron. So this is basically the reflex action, what we say. We see something, the message is sent to our spinal cord or the brain with the help of the nerve cells, and then the information is sent back, instruction is sent back as to what has to be done from what's being seen. So we have the effector organ which responds to the instruction here. So option is B, effector organ.